Oh, that's not what I want. Hey,
Are
everybody.
we streaming this?
Hi, yeah. Put your pants back on.
Alright.
Or
Sorry, I had a couple beers.
Or
this is you got the mature rating on our stream.
I got
right?
the mature rating. I mean, you
He
know.
doesn't need pants. Yeah.
What for?
Because I swear a lot.
Yeah.
We say the fuck word all the time.
We do say
That's
the
the
fuck
problem.
word a lot.
That's my favorite curse joke ever. Did you just say the fuck word?
They said the fuck word.
I love it.
All right.
Not
So,
the fuck word. Oh
welcome
my god.
to session
Sorry.
0. No, you're good. Of our Scum and Villainy game. So we're gonna go through mostly character creation, talk a little bit about the world, and maybe if we're feeling good, jump in for a short scene just to kind of get the feel for the core mechanic. I'm gonna play this song.
Oh.
Ooh.
Another Kai Engel special.
We get music. Oh, Kai
Music
Engel
by
writes
Kai.
lyrics too? Oh my god. Music by Kai.
So, I think all of you have decided what playbook you're playing. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not married to it.
Okay.
That's
you mean
like how I picked mechanic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, even
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Our class, as I would.
Yeah.
understand,
No, I'm
right?
rocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rocking
Cool.
speaker.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm all about being a pilot, baby.
All right.
I also just came up with my character 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that works.
I have like heritage, vice, and name. That's pretty much it.
I've even got my character, like I got my portrait set. That was actually what I did first.
All right. Well, let's go through the very first step in character creation is choosing your playbook. This represents your character's like reputation in the crew, their starting ability, unless you're taking a Xeno. If you're like taking a true Xeno ability, you do not get the starting ability of your playbook. You instead get your Xeno abilities, and then you get one special ability from your class, and it affects like the triggers for you gaining XP for advancing. So, everybody, let's go through. Let's talk about what playbooks we have chosen. Sam, you mentioned mechanic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
What else? What else we got?
I'm a speaker.
What is a speaker?
Pilot.
Speaker is like very
Face
like
character.
talk heavy. It's the face. Yeah.
Uh,
I keep playing quiet characters with you guys, so I'm gonna play one that has to talk.
I love it. I mean,
I'm excited, dude. I'm excited for you to be a speaker. It's
Yeah.
fun to do that shit.
yeah. So speaker, and then pilot,
Yes.
and then last but not least,
I don't know. I'm in between 3 because I'm cool with being the-
3.
I know it's okay. So
He's like, I don't know. I read the whole book. I don't know what to do.
so I want to be a robot. I want to be an Urbot.
Okay.
But I don't know whether an Urbot mystic or a muscle would be funnier. Or I could be a Stitch that could kind of fit the same, like, you guys are a crew and you have like your robot companion. I don't know which one. Do you need the muscle? Do you need the Stitch? Do you have just a fucking robot that speaks to the waves of the galaxy every now and then?
At the moment, we have 0 muscle at all.
Yeah. I mean, I
Sure.
could throw a wrench,
Which
but
we could go like fully diplomatic.
I mean, I can make some cool shots, make some cool moments, but
Yeah, and I mean the mystic is its own. It's just a different set of muscle, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Muscle is like the
Oh, it
heist
is?
roll, not the playbook.
yeah.
So I could do either that, either one of those. Either I'm the healer or I'm the tank in a really broad sense. Whichever one you guys want, honestly. Like,
I mean, what sounds cooler to you? Like, because the mystic is pretty much like a Jedi, right? So being like a robot Jedi, does that sound more fun to you, or being like
are
some
you gonna
big
be
smashy
General
robot?
Grievous?
What's a Jedi?
I like being. I like either of
We
them.
call them way users.
I like
I'm
either
gonna
of
kill
them
you all.
for the context of it, but I don't want to encroach on Dadbot by being the muscle.
It's okay if you want to be inspired by Dadbot. Dadbot is here for you to hold you and suplex you. It's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Just be a protocol droid. It'll be fine.
okay. I think I'm gonna do. Oh God, I don't know.
And keep
I
in
just
mind, you can like in some ways you can mix and match these, right? Like your playbook chooses your starting ability and such, or the special abilities you can choose from. But you can choose abilities when you advance from any playbook. You're not set on your playbook, so you can
Oh,
make
really?
something that is kind of like a mesh between like two different playbooks, if you really
Okay.
wanted to.
I might do some pilot and muscle then or something.
Yeah.
Extremely swole pilot. And
Yeah. No, I won't do muscle. It won't fit. It won't fit. I'm going full pilot.
I might start with Mystic then, a Mystic robot.
Okay, so you're going with the Urbot, which we have with Xeno abilities laid out for it.
Yeah, where do I see those?
I have them in Roll20, but I'm gonna also just kind of like post them around in a couple of places. So there's this, but that would basically that like those stress moves would become your new like starting ability. It'd be your Xeno ability basically, and
Okay.
that is not like a list of everything you could do. If there's something that kind of makes sense, and you're like, can I spend stress to do like this thing? That makes sense because I am an Urbot. So, okay. Cool. So everybody, if you know your playbook,
I forgot to get my starting ability because it did not populate one for me on the sheet, and
yeah.
Whoops.
No, there's so your playbook is basically all playbooks have one unique starting ability that you'd get, or you can choose instead to start it with a Xeno ability, like our Urbot friend. So Xeno abilities work a little differently, but for like the mechanic, the starting ability is Tinker.
Tinker? Okay.
So you just have to fill that in. Which just means when you're working on a clock with rig or hack, or when you study a schematic, you get basically you're better at fixing things that take like longer to repair and
I'm
or
gonna
hacking, like even programming.
I'm gonna eventually get the proper thing in, but right now I'm just gonna put better at fixing things that take a long time.
Cool.
If I can type.
Um,
Oh my god.
our crew is the Cerberus, right?
I mean, or the Thunderclown.
Yeah,
I
you
like
can
that.
change
I
the
definitely like
name.
Cerberus. All about that.
Yeah, the Cerberus is the default name. The two crews that I've played through this, one of them kept the default name of Cerberus. The other one played the Star Dancer, which was the smuggler crew, but they changed the name to something that fit their group, which was the Paradox. But
I mean, I think
yeah.
Thunderclown kind of fits our group. I'm not talking about characters, I'm talking about players.
Yeah, I'm just not sure you're gonna be able to sell everybody on ThunderClown.
I
feel.
know. I just like it.
So yeah, once you have your playbook and you have your starting ability, and Steven, if you haven't figured out, yeah, you've got it where you can populate and
I'm starting to.
yeah. Okay, cool. So starting ability and for everybody should have that figured out. Then the next part of character creation is choosing your special ability. So this is basically you choosing another ability from your playbook that is not the starting ability. Or like Steven, actually, like I house rule, you can choose your special ability as a starting ability if you're a Xeno, if you really want that one.
We have to pick another one?
Yeah, so everyone has their starting ability, but then you choose one special ability from the list from your playbook.
Oh.
So if you can't decide, the book recommends you just choose like the top one of the list of special abilities. because it's generally like the one meant to be the archetypal ability that supports your archetype.
That will beg the question: what is a gambit?
So gambits are basically like a dice pool that anybody in their group can use. So when you go to make a roll, you're rolling a dice pool, and a gambit just gives you an extra dice if you want to use it. And anybody can use a gambit, and nobody gets to vote on who gets to use the gambits. You just declare that you would use one. I mean, you can ask and talk amongst yourselves, but you don't have to.
How many are in this pool?
It says you add one when you roll a 6. It's on the right side of the thing.
Yeah, so it changes, which I have to check because the scoundrel adds gambits, and I can't remember what the default is, if it's 1 or 2. But there's basically abilities that change how many gambits you can have, and yeah, you can earn gambits by rolling. Is it 6 on a risky, right? Check gambits.
It says roll a 6 on a 6 or critical on a risky action and didn't spend a gambit.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, because my starting ability is you can spend a gambit instead of paying any stress cost.
For Mystic.
Yeah, the starting ability, the way.
Yeah, so anytime stress is a resource that everybody has, and is basically like you can use stress for some abilities cost stress. You can use stress to push yourself to give you extra dice. And we'll kind of go into this a little more. You can also use it to resist, like everything that happens to you in this game. You can resist and say, no, that didn't happen, and try to roll a resist roll, and you get stress for the resisting. And then you have to use your vice to decrease your stress. So this basically like lets you do something like resist something that happens just by like spending a gambit instead of like having to roll and take stress. So if you're like close to the end of your stress bar and want to do something, do that. It's an interesting mechanic. I would say that it is not the most interesting starting ability as far as the playbook starting abilities. So I don't feel like you'd be missing too much by skipping that one. But
yeah, so you said I can pick any one of my special abilities as my starting and then pick another one?
Well, no, your starting is your Urbot abilities, those stress abilities that you get.
Those ones, yes.
So, and then you get one special ability, but I was just saying you can choose the way starting ability if you want as your special ability.
I gotcha.
So yeah. Who knows what special ability they're taking?
I had mine picked the moment I saw it.
I picked mine.
What are you taking for your speaker?
Yeah, I'm taking player. You always know when someone is lying to you.
That's a good one. Sam, what are you taking?
Construct speaker. Machines speak to you when you study them. The first time you roll a critical while fixing or building a particular machine, you may add a simple modification to it. I want to be the best mechanic, so, I gotta listen to the machine.
Hear what they're saying to me. Fuck. But that's okay. I will wait. Will, you know what you're taking?
I'm gonna take Kenai.
Which one's that one?
Plus 1d when firing ship guns or making trick shots.
Yeah. That's
Ooh.
Yeah, the trick shots is what got me. I was like, gunfire.
Yeah, it's like bouncing lasers off walls.
Yeah.
Love it.
Literally gonna be like doing like a flip with like multiple shots.
Watch this.
Okay, but it doesn't count if you didn't call it beforehand, because that could have just been an accident.
I don't know.
Red photon and right eye socket.
Exactly.
Right?
You gotta call it.
Yeah. So, Steven, what are you thinking?
What is pushing yourself? You may
So
push yourself.
So pushing yourself is basically anytime you go to make a roll. Pushing yourself is a pretty common thing. Where you'll spend 2 stress to add a dice to your dice pool, or push the effect of whatever you're doing, so it's like more effective. So it's just like a way to increase your dice pool. So this lets you basically whenever you push yourself, you also can do this thing while doing that, or you can push yourself to do one of the following, and you'll take the stress, but you'll also get the dice from the dice pool.
Huh. What is a good way to get rid of stress? Is it just something you hold on to constantly, or
No, that's something you'll do. So there's like phases of the game, or there's free play where you're just kind of like role playing and stuff. Then there's the job where you're kind of doing a mission, and then after a job, every time you'll have downtime. That's usually where you can choose several things to do, which is usually indulging vice is one of those. You'll indulge your vice to decrease your stress.
I already picked my vice.
okay? And then what are overindulgences?
Overindulgence. So if you're indulging your vice and you're trying to decrease your stress, so it's usually you'll roll a dice pool. If you decrease your stress more than the stress that you actually have, it's called overindulgence, and there's like a list of effects that happen you can choose from if you overindulge.
I guess I'll take kinetics. You can push yourself to do one of the following: use the way to throw a table-sized object with dangerous force, propel yourself briefly with superhuman speed.
Yeah, it's a good one. Classic Jedi doing flips through the air, throwing shit at people. Like it.
Gotta use another reference Stan doesn't understand. Never seen Star Wars.
I'll learn someday. Maybe.
Just watch 4 through 6, and then 1, 2, and 3.
Or just not those.
You could leave
Or
all of them
you-
other than the first three. The original.
You could watch like
4 through 6 and
Just
Rogue
watch
One.
the prequels. That's really all you need. Is the prequels.
just the if you really just watch 3, you're solid.
You know,
this has been great.
If you really just
John, I
get
trust
the
you on
last
this
45
one.
minutes, they just have a really long
I'm
lightsaber
hanging
duel, you
up.
understand the whole story.
I can see where this campaign.
You know what? All you need to know is that you have to have the high ground.
That's all you need, apparently.
Oh, I know about that. There's lava also.
Yes. It's over. I have the high ground. And that's all you need.
I hate you.
By the way, is the alias just whatever you want it to be? It's just whatever you want to be.
Yeah,
called?
Yeah.
it's like a nickname or something that your guy might go by or has earned. So yeah, sorry, let me get back to our list here. So choosing special ability. So the next thing is choosing a heritage, which this can be found. Really talk about the heritages. I know they're on the actual sheet, so that like the heritages are. Nope, that's the ship sheet. It will not tell me anything.
Is it on faction mode? No.
No, it's not on the sheet. Okay, hold on. I have to find the page in the book that lists the heritage and talks about them.
Can you link the book again? Oh, it's there. No, that's Odyssey. Just kidding. Can you link the book again?
Sure. I think it might be pinned in the other chat, but let me. Just in case.
Well, then I'll just pull it up on my phone.
Could also be wrong on there. Page 58. Cool. So heritages are on page 58. I'll grab that book link just in case.
What is with my internet right now?
Oh wait, that's the wrong link because I just linked the whole thing I just got.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I mean we love Odyssey, John. We all love Odyssey.
All right, there you go. So the heritage is basically it's just like an archetype of where your character came from. You don't have to think about it too hard necessarily right now, especially since this will probably just be a few sessions. But maybe you're manufactured like our Urbot friend, or maybe you are a colonist or a spacer who's only grown up like in ships. You could be an imperial, hailing from like one of the noble houses or the guilds or something like that. You could be a wanderer where you have no like home planet.
Is this just your background?
Yeah, this is just
Okay.
where your character came from, basically. It could be Xeno if your character is like a non-human, non-manufactured thing. So font. But yeah. So it's just like it's literally just kind of your character's heritage.
I'm a spacer.
You spacer.
I was
Spacer.
too.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, hey, there it is. I already filled it out.
Oh.
It is on the character sheet. Up towards the top, under name, then look, then heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Said
doesn't
it was
list them all.
53.
58 in the PDF.
58.
So yeah, the heritage covers how you were raised. After you kind of choose those, you'll choose your background, which covers what you've been doing before you join the crew specifically. So the backgrounds are on that same like type of pages, but it's gonna be like, are you an academic? Were you a laborer working in a factory somewhere? Were you part of some weird cult? A guilder? Which are the guilds kind of control all the way technology, because most of the tech that involves way stuff, the artifacts are it's very much like a precursor type alien species that built all this technology that we don't understand and is now like controlled by the guilds that work for the hegemony. But yeah, so then there's the military, nobles, which the nobles kind of just rule everything. They're the ruling class. And then syndicate, whether you're like a criminal or something like that.
Yeah, I already got that filled out.
Nice. So, and you chose spacer?
Spacer, yeah.
All right. For your heritage, what did you choose for your background?
Labor.
So, space laborer.
Yeah, mechanic.
Do some space
Yeah,
labor.
she kind of grew up. Do you imagine her growing up on like ships, or it doesn't really matter, I guess, but like I'm getting into this like where this might be a big long campaign, or like
like kind of like maybe a small space station that's kind of
Yeah,
like
space
a
station,
mechanic
that's
shop
what I was
almost.
cool. All right.
Is there like a page for this, or are we just making this up?
58.
Page 58 has
Thank
like
you.
yeah. So you were making up the details of them. It's just kind of like little one-word descriptors that
Got you.
categorize your character.
Haha.
Does anybody else have their heritage and background?
I'm gonna be a wanderer, I think.
Okay. And you guys a speaker, right? So-
Yeah. And then I'm torn between academic or syndicate.
Why did you wonder so much?
Yeah, I know. It's like, did you wander for knowledge? Did you wander because you're gotta keep moving?
Okay, so he
Very
was in a
different.
cult. Got it.
That's a whole
No,
separate thing.
I know it is.
I think
Like-
I was manufactured because I am a robot.
Mhm.
I think cult.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
I think
I mean, Jedi.
Is it-
Yeah.
Is this something you like where it was like way users that trained
Religion.
you, or like a Urbot type?
I want to
cult,
say
or-
that I was in a cult of Urbots. I was a rather powerful Urbot that got like taken over, and he got used as a laborer after a while because they wiped his memory multiple times. But he still has the like connection to the way or like the thing. But his memory has been wiped so many times that it's like fractured, and like he's been traded hands so many times because like he's a good dock hand, he's a good assistant droid, but sometimes like there's a glitch or something, or sometimes like he has memories that come back and he needs to be wiped again. So his name is Wipe 54 because that's how many times that he's been having to been like cleared out, and he's made his way through different crews, and you guys found yourself a robot at a very, very, very handsome price.
That's cool as hell.
That's what I'm thinking. So cult is like background because that's all the way back, but heritage manufactured more
Cool.
specifically.
So if we wipe him again, is he gonna be wipe 55?
Wipe 55.
Perfect.
Kind of like
Cade-
Banshee
Cade
67, Cade 6. The way that they do exos in
Mm.
Destiny, whenever they
Yeah.
reset, they add a number to the end. I think I'm just
So-
gonna steal that.
Nice. So this isn't as important necessarily right now, but it does say like when you choose your heritage to add like a little note about your family life. For example, it's like for example, it says spacer, ice miners. So something like that. Maybe if you want for the background. Cult. I can give you some of these factions to go ahead. I would say this cult that you belong to is called Conclave 01.
Hell yeah, you gotta get that on off the cuff. Is there anywhere specific that you want me to put that, or
I would just like in your background just say Cult Conclave 01.
is there like
Something
a
like
space
that.
on the sheet to put
Mhm.
background, or is it just in the notes?
It's on the it's
at
in
the
sheet.
top where it says your name, and then it'll
Name,
have
alias,
look.
look. I
Yeah.
see. I see,
Heritage
I see.
background, yeah.
Heritage. I see. Heritage. Wait, can you just click it?
Yeah, you should be able to just click on it and type.
No, like click just the manufacturer, because you can click the like special abilities, like the little arrow to like green them.
Yeah,
So that's what you have.
Mhm.
You can't click like manufactured to make it green.
No, you have to.
That's okay.
So would I write it next to spacer, or would I write it next to labor?
For which one?
For like you were like, oh, put what they did or what you did.
I put it next to spacer.
Okay.
That's for spacer is like heritage is like your family, so it's like your family life, where background is like your specific history. So whatever feels more relevant for you.
Well, they're the same thing.
Is there a way to change the highlight color, or is it just stuck on green?
It's
just stuck on
green.
That's okay. I wanted to customize Robo Man.
Robo names. I think I'm gonna go with academic.
Alright, dig it.
Just going all in on this baby.
He's smart and he's got a mouth on him? Oh no.
Oh no.
Will, where'd you land?
My heritage. I'm actually manufactured too.
Oh, are
as a
you a
clone.
Yaru? Are you a clone? Nice. Okay.
Ooh.
And I have a military background as a strategist. And I wasn't mass cloned. I wasn't part of a group like that. I was just
Very specific.
taken. Yeah, there was a bunch of team members that we had, and there was groups of us, different out, and none of us were the same. We were all just cloned from the trying to continue the lineage of the current military structure that was happening with the top teams that they had.
Mm.
So my role in it was the military strategist. But
So
I'm
you're
also
like
super young, so I'm kind of just like a
baby.
prodigy, a baby prodigy clone who hasn't really seen anything.
yeah. So you're like a clone of the previous military strategist kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That's cool.
Woken up and decommissioned.
Or
Yeah,
escaped.
Or escaped. Oh no.
I am a strategist.
I'm glad he's on our side.
Right? For now.
All right. So and then what kind of background do you see for your pilot?
Military would work as a.
Oh yeah, you said that's right. You said military.
strategist, and then kind of
Okay.
turned mercenary from that point.
Cool.
Oh yeah,
I
what
dig
kind of crew are we?
A bounty hunting crew.
We are a bounty hunting crew? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's what we landed on last time.
Oh yeah.
But
Got
bounty
it.
hunters work like kind of in a very gray area. Like sometimes you might take bounties from syndicate factions if you're that type of crew to like. So you're not necessarily picky. Well, you might be. My other crew was picky, but
I've done a bad thing.
what have you done?
I typed in robot on Pinterest, and I'm now down in like a really deep
Oh,
rabbit hole.
no.
Fucking different kind of robots that people have made.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So the next thing we're gonna look at is our action dots. So this might take a little bit of thought, but keep in mind, like, so what this is basically building your dice pools And even 1 dot is like a 50% chance of success, right? Because it's 1 through 3 failure, 4 to 5 is partial success, and then 6 success. So, but you'll get 3 of your dots are based on your playbook, and you'll see those at like if you look at your playbook sheet, the very first like thing, you'll see your starting actions. So you'll get 3 action dots from that, just from your playbook, and then you'll get to choose where you want to place the other 4. Now the book kind of like hints that 2 like maybe choose one that reflects your heritage and one that reflects your background, and then kind of like 2 that are just wherever you want them to be.
Which one are these? I'm sorry.
So these are your action things. So these are all like the doctor, hack, rig, study, helm, scramble, scrap, skulk.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are basically like your skills that you're going to use for everything. And so yeah, for pilot, for instance, your starting actions are 2 in helm and 1 in rig, and that's how many pips you'll have in those actions. You can't have more than 2 pips in anything at the start.
So how many?
So you'll have 7 total, 3 from your playbook, and then 4 that you select.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if I like where I put all of mine now.
I mean, it's not going to be something that I'm going to make you be like, you have to hold these in here, especially since you guys don't know the rules of the game. So if we play and you feel like you're going towards one skill that you didn't think about.
Okay.
Can you describe a couple of them, like scrap versus consort and command?
Yeah, so just generally, doctor is anything that's going to be do with medicine or packaging someone else. Hack is going to be most of your computer stuff. Rigging is going to be mostly mechanical, putting stuff together. These are pretty broad and often overlap. Just sometimes some will work better for things than others. Study is pretty much anything that's doing with like perception or like investigation, stuff like that. Helm is typically driving. Scramble is typically running or fleeing,
whiskey.
chasing.
Yeah, not apple juice.
Scrapping is your fight skill.
It looks like apple juice.
You can put 2 on one.
Yeah, you can go up to 2 on any skill.
Okay. And would scramble still count for like ships, or was that physical?
Helm will be your big ships one. Scramble is like you personally running and fleeing.
Okay.
You could use scramble for ship stuff, but it'd usually make more sense to do helm.
Okay.
Skulk is like you're sneaking around or trying to stay hidden. Attune is usually your stuff with the way. Command is like bossing people around. Consort is like mingling with people and trying to make contacts. Kind of like can also act like a persuasion skill. Whereas sway is more like lying or trying to convince people or trying to get them on your side when they're not.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like I said, I won't hold you guys to
Can you say attune again?
Attune is like your ability to attune to the way or the force equivalent of power that flows through everything in our universe.
Oh.
Which it's not necessarily uncommon for people to be able to, like, the way is there for anybody who's willing to like spend time to like try and attune to it or feel it out. Just some people are more able to do that.
They're way sensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds cool. I'll try that out, actually. That makes sense a little bit.
I start out with +2 attune.
Yeah.
I start out with +2 consort.
Sounds about right.
Between that and command, I might do command instead.
Yeah, I did mine already.
Yeah, I think I'm good with. I just picked mine. I think I should be.
I have an overachiever in here.
Yeah.
Rig means like jerry rig effectively, or like make it work, kind of.
Kind of. It's also just like dealing with any kind of like repair work that is more mundane or low tech compared to like precursor technology necessarily. But it's pretty broad. But that's like the mechanics skill would be. That's their big one is rig. Cool. So, once you get your pips in place, I think we're not much left for the individuals. Oh yeah, so the last thing is, well, there's a couple of things. So everybody has a list of contacts. You know all of your contacts, but one of them is a close friend and one of them is a rival. So it's a close friend, ally, family member, or lover. And you just click the upward triangle for that one on your sheet. And then you'll mark one of your contacts who's a rival, enemy, scorned lover, betrayed partner, etc. And you'll click the downward one for them. If you're not sure what you want to do for that, you don't have to necessarily have that picked out right now. And then you will choose your vice, which is, this is something I want to hear from everybody. So your vice, you'll pick your preferred vice or two and detail it with a short description. So you don't necessarily need the description right now, but the vices, does it list them on the sheet, or is it another one we'll have to look up and have you
It lists them on the sheet, but it doesn't
Faith,
have anything about
gambling,
them.
luxury, obligation, pleasure, stupor, weird.
Yeah. So weird is like your, which these are all on page 60. So yeah, faith is you're part of a cult or observe specific ceremonies at regular intervals. Gambling is, gambling. Luxury is just living the high life. Obligation is usually like you have some cause or family that you have to that you tend to work with in your downtime. Pleasure is hedonistic gratification, drugs, drinking, that kind of thing. Stupor is that taking to the abusive levels.
Great.
And weird is strange experiments, exploring away and communing with artifacts and so on.
You said two of them?
Yeah, you can pick two. You only need one, so it's like pick one or two.
Okay.
And these don't necessarily have to be locked in either. But Sam, what did you pick for your vice?
I picked gambling,
Nice. Classic. for
which actually goes great with who my friend is.
who's your friend?
Stev, a gambler of ill repute.
So you guys get going gambling together.
Yeah.
When we get together. Nice. Anybody else have their vices picked in?
Mine is gambling.
Nice.
Nice!
Love good enough chance.
Okay.
I always try to beat the system. Never works.
I mean, sometimes.
Great strategist, terrible gambler.
I'll tell you a story about a gambling character.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Dan, Steven, what about you guys?
We've got stupor and weird.
Is he
Okay.
super weird?
He trips on overdosing on like electricity or something, and he just like fucking hops into the astral plane of the way with his robot mind and just kind of like conks out for a while.
Nice.
I think I'll go with pleasure, actually. He's always looking for a way to talk himself into a good time.
Yeah. All right. So then record your name, alias, and look.
So by look,
actually-
I didn't know what that meant.
So if it actually has like, it's basically like tags that you might use to express, like describe your character. And these are on page 62. If you want to look, it actually gives you like a list of alias names, family names, and looks. So note that these looks are about presentation rather than a statement of identity. Oh yeah, so yeah, it names man, woman, ambiguous, Xeno, and then it lists stuff like ornate headdress, long coat, tight pants, bomber jacket, leathers, hides and furs, intricate rings, mask and robe.
Work
It's about a
boots.
presentation rather than a statement of identity.
Yeah, so basically, like, what is, if you had like one thing on your character that is kind of like their hero piece of their outfit, or like the focus of their outfit, maybe.
Oh, just one thing?
I mean, no, you can put as many as you want.
I have an idea. Basically, my character looks like Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, the blonde Howl.
Nice.
Let's see here.
hard to find pictures of droids without falling too into Star Wars.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, I'm done.
I've got my tags. Ambiguous, long coat, long scarf, suit and vest.
Nice. Work boots and worn uniform.
It's just that easy.
It's just that easy. I have her picture and everything done too.
Looking at the tags, I've suddenly like blossomed an outfit for this character. It's very exciting.
Which page are the tags on again?
62?
62.
Yeah.
Or 72 in the PDF.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, so a lot of the ship creation stuff we're not going to go too deep into for this particular thing, just because it can get real deep, and a lot of it's tying factions for like more long-term campaigns. But the one thing I will ask you guys is to choose your reputation as a crew. And the list of these, it doesn't even like describe them past like what this one word is, and we can kind of choose something else. But I'm just going to send it to the group here. But is your crew known for being ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, strange, or subtle?
I feel like we're pretty strange.
Strange is the first one that jumped out to me too.
Yeah, and this is a reputation that like you can gain new reputations, and it can like change as you go as well. But do you guys want to go with strange?
It just
Yeah.
feels fitting.
I was gonna say either strange or savvy.
Are we strangely savvy?
Oh no. I'm good with strange though.
How you feel about that one, Will?
See the other ones.
I sent them in the Discord chat.
Oh, sorry.
Definitely not professional. Definitely not subtle.
Hey,
Not
some
subtle.
of us are professionals.
I would say stranger daring.
Strange seems to be a common thread.
Yeah.
We'll go with that
Stick
one
strange for now.
I mean,
Probably ambitious as well. Maybe less ambitious.
we've got a clone. We've got a robot. We've got Howl.
You got Howl. Gender on the paperwork is just question mark, question mark, question mark.
Why do I need to fill this out?
Gender is crossed out.
Gender, no.
No, thank you.
Not for me, thanks.
Oh, hi, Bestet.
All right, I'll do systems and stuff for the crew later. We're not going to need that tonight. Okay, with that, I think we're going to take a quick break then.
Okay,
That's pretty much wrapping up the character creation section.
I'll kick us on over to BRB.
Very exciting.
Yee.
other me.
Guys, we have a question about Disney movie.
The other me.
With Disney movie with the cone and the fish.
You make a fish.
Did anybody see this one?
No,
No.
I have
This
no
movie?
idea what you're talking about.
There's literally a line where he's like, "You're like me, but have a computer brain."
What?
What?
Oh, this isn't a Disney movie. This is a Disney Channel original movie.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's
sorry.
different.
Yeah.
They're different.
Sorry, yes, Disney
You
Channel
cannot-
original,
You
like
can't-
Smart House or Brink.
Other me.
I remember Smart House. Brink. Is that the one with the
rollerblades?
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
dude,
God.
I love
Johnny
that one.
Tsunami.
Johnny
I think
Tsunami.
they
Tsunami was
peaked.
so good.
I think they peaked at either Johnny Tsunami or what's the future girl?
Oh,
Xenon?
Girl of the 21st Century.
I think that's where they
Zoom,
peaked.
zoom, make my heart go boom, boom. My supernova girl.
Oh my
Supernova
god.
Oh,
Girl.
I remember that one. That was
Supernova Girl's a
We
banger.
we own no rights to this music.
It's okay.
Anybody own those rights? I mean, let's be honest.
Well, Disney does.
Disney.
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 All right,
They will bring us down. All right.
y'all
Please
are
don't
being
get
that
me
kid
shut
at the-
down.
Y'all are being that kid at the slumber party who's just like, it's like 12:10, and everyone's like, "What are we gonna do tomorrow?" And they're like, "Technically, it's today." Get out of here.
When you're talking about rights, it's a little different. Especially with Disney specifically. They're like, hey, you're saying 16 seconds of Xenon. Those kidneys are looking pretty good.
$30,000
You
later.
mind handing them over?
Your channel's shut down, Sam.
Right?
No.
What, did you
Right,
sing
so my
3 different songs? 3 DMCA.
You wouldn't steal a bike.
You wouldn't download a car.
Yes, I would.
Oh
Right?
my God, yes, I would in a heartbeat. Are you kidding?
You
All
would
right.
download a pizza.
So, we're going to start this in media res.
Ooh.
Ooh, I love that term.
Um,
Oh, I love that image.
I'm going to go ahead.
That's a good robot.
I'm between two. I'll put them both in the chat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that one.
This one or this one.
The first one.
Are you a ninja?
I like the first one better because I don't know why, but it makes me
Kind
think
of.
of clueless little robot that doesn't know what's going on with the world in his life.
His poor memory. But we are in media res. What's happening?
His poor
The
brother.
first one is definitely more of a blank canvas. Yeah.
I like the first one.
The
Okay.
second one is cool though.
So, let me set the scene. Give me one moment here. Okay. So, actually, I don't fucking like this music. Hold on. I'm doing this. So, you are currently on the planet Warren. In Acuna. Oh, fuck. I can never say this word. Acunamopolis. It's like basically a planet that's an entire city, similar to like a Coruscant or something like that. Usually it doesn't matter. So, yeah, you guys are on the planet Ward. Your group has been hired by Arlox, your group's Ashen Knives Pasha friend. The Ashen Knives are a syndicate crew that does a lot of work here on Warren. You've been hired to capture Cho Tirik. I'm going to put his name here in chat for you. Oh, I fucked it up.
Done goofed it.
So, Cho Tirik, he's a badass syndicate muscle who apparently left a job unfinished for the Ashen Knives, and they don't like that. So, tracking a syndicate muscle who doesn't want to be found is can be difficult, but your crew, you know, consorting with the right people, greasing the right palms, maybe knocking the right heads, you found out that a few things. You found out, one, that the Ashen Knives are not the only people who are currently looking for Cho. There's several other factions are offering bounties on him and what he holds. So, we play to find out if the crew will catch Cho and keep the others from getting to him first.
So just a quick question.
Yeah.
What stops us from taking the bounties from the other people as well? Like, if they're just like, just kill him. Okay, well, we'll take this bounty to kill him, and we'll take this bounty to kill him, and we'll take this bounty to kill him.
Well, you can only bring in like his head, the proof that you killed him the one time, right? I mean,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
so
that's fair. I mean, what if we
and
want to
part of
hold on
a
to it
lot
as a
of-
trophy?
I mean, there
A
are
lot of the
other
bounties
parts of
are-
his body.
Yeah.
you can try them.
Can't
I
live
have-
without a torso.
But the main thing that the bounty is for is the item that he took with him from this job.
What did he take?
I'll actually, yeah, you've learned that what he took with him was an Urbot.
Oh.
So, or at least that's the rumor. So, as I said, we're going to start in media res.
What's everyone's names?
Oh, yeah. Actually, what is everyone's names?
How long have we been together?
Oh, actually, we'll do introductions, I think, in media res. Doesn't matter how long you've been together.
Okay.
So, you find yourselves on the planet Warren. You're in a hallway on the second floor of this rundown hotel, the first floor being a bar that you came through. There's a neon sign out front of this this building that proclaims it as the Paradise. It cost you guys some cred and a few twisted arms to get his location, but you've tracked Cho to this hotel on Warren, and that sweet prize money is about to be yours. You're just outside his door, ready to kick it in, when you hear the roar of a hoverbike engine starting up in an alley behind the hotel. Heavy blaster fire begins ripping through the hallway, shredding the plaster, and moving quickly to where your team is standing. It's Cho Tirik on some souped-up hover bike. You see him kind of like hovering out. It's raining outside, so he's just kind of like hovering, shooting in through the second floor with his blaster pistol. Cho Tirik is this massive four-armed Xeno. You can kind of like see he's heavily scarred. His face is squat and flat. And you see a tiny figure clutched to his back like a cloak, covering it, like whipping around in the wind. What do you do?
How far am I from him?
20 feet.
And he's just straight down from me, or is he like across?
He's like straight down in a hallway, just kind of like blasting laser fire towards your group. There's like a couple of doors nearby. His is like right there in front of you.
Is he facing us then?
Yes.
Is
He's
there,
like kind of like facing off of his bike, like shooting sideways, like his hover car or hover bike, like revving up to like blast off.
Okay, is there a on the hover bike? Is there some sort of is the power supply showing, or is there some sort of like exhaust pipe?
Yeah.
Or anything like that? I want to
Sure.
take my grappling hook and my blaster pistol, and do what I always do is I want to wrap it around the trigger finger, and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to toss it, and I want to spin as much as I can to try to shoot it directly into the exhaust pipe to destroy the power supply of the hover bike.
All right, like throwing your
That-
gun with the grappling hook at the end, and like pulling the grappling hook to shoot.
And then pulling it and just firing it right there.
I like how you said this is the thing you always do.
Yeah, that's the thing he always does.
Classic.
This is...
Yeah.
So yeah, you pull out your little grappling hook, flinging it forward with the gun and pulling it at the right time. The sounds. So the way this works is you guys can actually tell me what skill you're using. Technically, I'm going to tell you what it sounds like. You tell me if you're thinking something else. Tell me what your character looks like. Actually, before your character like does this, tell us what he looks like. Tell us his name.
Oh, you see Gabriel. Gabriel H7 is his name technically, with a leather jacket, some buckles around him, blaster pistol on the side. There's also a hidden blaster pistol in his jacket as well. Grappling hook, just other bits around his waist, but just otherwise pretty normal. Normal pants, long boots. Normally what you would see from a space pilot, but the jacket is different. It's a lot older than the rest of what he's wearing. It's got fur around the neck and everything. But yeah, he always takes that, and so you see Gabriel, the pilot of Cerberus, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Thunderclown.
Trying to destroy the power supply of the hoverbike before he can get away.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to set up a clock here, actually.
You wanted some crazy shit? Let's go.
Yeah.
That's got to be a trick shot.
That's right.
That does sound like a trick shot. So, Gabriel, that sounds
The action.
like a scrap roll.
Okay.
Because usually, like,
roll.
yeah, shooting and blasting. And I don't know if, like I said, you're not set on any things. I noticed you don't have any pips and scraps if you want to do it. Yeah.
No, I don't.
If you wanted to
What-
move one around to that,
what
you
is
definitely
scrap?
can.
What is scrap then?
Scrap is your combat roll. If you're fighting,
Okay,
shooting
yeah.
pistols,
I would
like
definitely. I will actually take one from no, rig is part of my thing. I'll actually take one from study and put it into scrap and keep scramble.
okay, cool.
What do I do now?
Yeah, you are a boy full of prowess. Okay, so you are going to roll a scrap roll. You'll click on the word scrap.
Okay.
You are going to be in a risky position here because you have this heavy blaster fire shooting towards you. So you're at risk of, like, as you're trying to do this, getting shot by Cho, right?
Okay.
Or the risk is also, depending on how bad you fail, is you don't catch him, right? And he gets to, like, blast off. So you get to kind of, like, that's one of the things of this game is we'll kind of discuss what the risk is and what will look like if you fail the roll as well, at least, like, give you an idea.
Okay, so I'm in a risky position, so I just submit that.
Yep, and then I think you're going to be at standard effect. Now, you can also push yourself if you'd like to get an extra dice here, which costs 2 stress to make you more likely to succeed.
Don't I get another dice, or I get a plus?
You do get +1 dice from your
Right.
trick shot ability. Yep.
Okay. I will actually use a stress to do this.
And the crew.
Great or limited? For that?
So with pushing yourself, you can either take a dice or you can push the effect to make it. So right now you have standard effect, which is kind of like you'll kind of do what you want to do. But if you want to push it, you can push it to great effect, basically, where you're gonna
Great
like.
effect. And is that is just adding a stress to it? And so I get
You'll-
one bonus die.
You'll take 2 stress.
Okay.
And then you can either take a bonus. You'll take 1 bonus die for your thing either way. You can either take an extra bonus die for pushing yourself or pushing the effect by pushing yourself. So one or the other with that one.
Okay, so we'll only have 1 bonus die, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there a way for me to get 2?
If you would rather keep standard effect, you can take 2 by pushing yourself. Because you already have 1 bonus die. Does that make sense? From your trick shot. So
I'm just trying to get 2. How do I get 2 bonus dice with this?
just pushing yourself.
Okay, so I thought
so
I
you're gonna.
myself with stress,
Yeah.
right?
So you'll take the 2 stress to push yourself. You'll take 2 bonus die, and we'll just say standard effect.
Okay, standard effect. I need to do that.
It's fine if you put grade in there before. But... So I'll keep it. We're gonna try and keep it simple. Most actions are gonna be at a risky position, standard effect, typically.
10? Is that how that works?
No, so it's a dice pool. So we go with the highest one, which is a 6, which means you have like a success with no like downsides or anything.
Okay, got it. So it's just chances. It's not additions.
Yeah. So what is this? So you you pull the grappling hook. The laser fires. This is just like a little laser pistol type deal.
Yeah, just a laser pistol. How far?
Cool.
How far can I push that? So.
So you see it strike, and it does hit the hover bike. Oh, and because you got a 6, I'm gonna increase our clock here to catch Cho. With a 6, you get 3 ticks on the clock.
Ooh.
The engine like bursts, and you see like Cho kind of like cursing as his bike, instead of pushing forward, suddenly begins sinking down, disappearing out of your view through the hole out into the outside.
Okay.
And you hear the sound of crashing of metal against metal. So, what do you do?
Can I act as it's sinking, as it's
Yeah.
falling into the air?
Mhm.
I'm gonna turn to the handsome blonde man
Person.
and or person.
What's their pronoun?
Let's go with they.
The handsome
Person.
person.
Yeah.
And I will turn and say, insert name here.
Alvin Forsyth.
It's not Forsyth?
Forsyth.
Oh god, why did I start pouring this like it was water?
Alvin, do we
Cheers.
care of
Jesus.
the life of Cho or the bot?
So what our contract is to apprehend or to kill him?
Cho, dead or alive, but you want the cargo that he
The
stole.
cargo undamaged.
I
Any
imagine
payment difference?
You get more money if he's alive, because then they can make like an extra cred if he's alive.
The bot undamaged, but well, Cho Tirik, one way or the other, he'll come in.
I imagine we're having a conversation as
as he's shooting.
as the gun is being thrown out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the background we see that same scene play out a little bit as you guys are talking.
I hope we have spare parts for my repairs. And then I get up and use kinetics to propel myself at a superhuman speed. As the bike is sinking, I want to run and like spear tackle him off of the bike and like go in for like a gore, effectively trying to grab at the bot on his back, like throwing my body into absolute danger, but using all 300 400 pounds of my robot weight to try to tackle him.
Sure. So your goal is to like tackle him off of the bike.
Tackle him, me, and the
the
robot
girl.
off of the back to try to grab the robot in the tussle and kick me away from him, if at all possible. But like whatever happens. But as he's sinking, I want to like intercept him right there.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I think this is gonna be. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna lean in. So this is gonna be a desperate position, right? Because you're charging this guy. He's got a big, heavy blaster in his hand. It's like usually a two-handed gun that he's just like wielding.
And he's got 2 extra hands to do it.
Yeah, and he's still got 2 fists that can fight you off, like when
Yeah.
you're trying to tackle him. And there's the chance that you might actually like damage this bot in the process of you guys kind of like throwing off this bike. So I think this is a bit of a desperate position here. But I'll give you like standard effect. This sounds to me like another scrap roll.
Okay. Even though it's a
it could be scramble too, if you're just because you're like charging down there trying to get there as quick as you can before it happens.
And it says push yourself, so does that mean that so it's desperate? Wait, which one? Scrap, desperate. Effect is standard. Will that roll with or how many bonus dice for pushing myself?
If you want to push yourself, you can spend 2 stress and you get 1 bonus dice.
Okay.
You can also have the crew has a gambit that you can spend if you want.
The ability allows me to do this, give me superhuman speed. The reason I'm able to get to him is because I'm pushing myself.
Because you're using your way. Gotcha. So you're kind of like bursting down the hall. I like that. Okay.
like jet speeding.
Okay.
Does it change anything, or is that still the same stress plus 1 bonus dice?
I think this is the same stress plus 1 bonus dice, but I think you're actually just in a risky position because I think you're going to be charging him like to the point where he's going to be not quite ready for you. You might end up in a desperate position pretty quickly here,
gotcha,
but I think
okay,
you're
so
starting risky.
Scramble, risky, standard, +1, 2 stress, submit.
Okay. Cool. So, I think what this looks like is yeah. So we see the our robot friend. What is your
Wipe?
Yeah, so we see Wipe kind of charging down the hall, like leaping from, or like moving quicker than any normal person could. Is it, do you actually like, is it you running quickly, or is it like you almost like flying down this hall?
I want to say like moving so quickly that like the time slows for me while it speeds up for everyone else. So like I'm moving at normal running pace, but like it's like blurring down the hallway.
Nice.
Using the force and the fucking way around me. I don't know.
So you slam into Cho, right? And he immediately like tries to fire, doesn't quite get off a couple of shots. Let me use my do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm. Complication occurs. Reduced to factor in a desperation. Cool. Yeah, so I think what happens, you get Cho, but you, as you're kind of like grasping for the robot, it kind of ducks out of your way like rather quickly, managing to avoid your grasp, and you and Cho go rolling off of the bike, slamming into the ground in the alley beyond, like kind of like landing into a puddle because it's kind of raining out. You see the hover bike that Cho was on crash lands into a set of bikes that are parked out front of this building. Looks like the first floor is like acts as a bar. And you can kind of like see as this happening, like several people in the windows that look like space bikers getting upset at like their hover bikes.
Oh no.
And yeah, so we see the other two up top. We see, because we've established for sure that Albin and Gabriel are up on the second floor because we've both seen them on camera. Liv, are you also like with them?
I think I was actually out walking my pet because I get a super intelligent pet.
Would you be doing that in the middle of the job?
While we're about to kick down the
While
door
you're about to kick
of the
down
bounty?
Guys, I'm
You're
just
walking
gonna
a
be,
dog.
I'm just gonna be downstairs. He's gotta relieve himself, all
Fluffy's
right?
got a tinkle.
Do you want to have to pay the extra creds if he does it in here, or do you want me to take him out to the alleyway?
It is rather smelly.
The rules of the system also kind of assume that you guys are, which you don't necessarily have to play this way, assumes you guys are kind of professionals and can guess at, like, some of the things that would happen. Because you can also spend stress to like flash back to things like, say he crashes on these bikes and you say, I'm going to flash back to me being inside, like talking up and befriending these bikers or something like that, just as like an example. So keep that in mind, that flashbacks is also an important mechanic of the game. But so yeah, this crashes. What do you guys do? We don't necessarily have to say where you are, or if you want to be out like walking your pet. Do you know what your pet looks like?
I'm thinking like just a robot dog at the moment.
Okay.
Just like a Doberman, but a robot.
Walking a robot dog out in the rain.
Roberman.
Yeah.
Don't.
Roberman.
I stopped myself from doing it.
I'm sorry. I hear the pun. It formulates. It has to come out.
Yes.
Nice.
Out walking him, and I'm just like, I thought we still had 5 minutes.
Plans change.
All right. Well,
So I'm gonna tell my Roberman to go grab the bot off his back and bring it here.
all right. Yeah, the bot is still on the bike, though you see it kind of like moving to leap off and flee. And then you see just like Cho wrestling with with wipe on the ground right now.
He'll be fine. I'm gonna-
All right, send it chasing after the robot.
yeah.
Cool. Sounds like a command roll.
Does it? Uh,
Command, like, to tell your pet something, unless you were thinking something else.
literally anything else. Maybe hack or rig or scramble or scrap. My 4 skills I have.
You can move a pip around if you'd like.
Yeah, we'll take 1 out of. Oh god, I don't want to move any of them. Is the thing. I'm like scared. What if I
Well, keep
need
in
it?
mind, even 1 pip in something is like a 50% chance to succeed, right?
All right, I'll take 1 out of hack and throw it into command.
Okay. Cool. So,
Is this a controlled, risky, or desperate roll?
this is a risky roll. The risk being that the robot's gonna flee and get away in this moment of confusion. This be standard effect. I assume your robot dog is trained to tackle people.
Yeah. Bonus dice 0.
Yeah, unless you can push yourself, you can spend 2 stress to add 1 dice to it if you'd like.
It's fine.
All right.
Ah!
So,
Real quick, do I get, since I rolled a 6, do we get a gambit?
on your risky roll, I don't know if there's a.
It says add a gambit to your crew when you roll a 6 or critical on a risky action and you didn't spend a gambit on a bonus die.
Didn't span a gamut on a bonus.
Okay, action roll. Reset the number of gambits. Yeah, I don't think there's a max. So
I'm just
the
curious.
default. So you guys have 2. So yeah, this would push you guys to. Oh yeah, for the Cerberus, this is 1 is the default gambit. So yeah, you guys currently have 2 gambits.
Is there a place that we keep track of that?
You can keep track of it on the ship sheet.
Ah, okay, thank you. Sorry.
Very good.
There's a little gambit section. So
Yikes.
yeah, because the gambits are things that anybody in the crew can use. So yeah, oh, I need to do this actually. Sorry, I didn't check our box.
Whoops.
So we moved up to that, but with our failure, we're gonna take a step back.
Sorry. My bad.
No, actually, with that failure, instead of taking a step back, 'cause this is like Cho's clock, I think I'm going to start a new clock, let that one tick on as normal, and have one where the Urbot escapes.
Ah, no.
So, let's start a new clock. Cool. You said your robot after this, and you see as it's like chasing this Urbot, the Urbot kind of like turns around and whistles, and the dog suddenly like stops and sits, and then the Urbot turns and begins like fleeing down the alleyway. It's kind of like cloak wrapping, flying in the wind.
He's too well trained.
But yeah, what do you guys do?
Can I flashback?
Yes, please.
Back into the bar, and as some of the so I assume we've just kind of come here by foot, like on foot. We've headed out this way.
We haven't established, but it definitely can be what you guys did.
I'd like to, when one of the bikers pulls up, one of the bikers who does not look like super aggressive walking in the door, I walk up to him, I hand him some booze, and I say, there may be a time where we need to borrow a bike from someone. And there's more drinks and maybe some credits in it for you if you're the one who gives us that opportunity.
All right. So, flashing back to kind of talk up one of these guys to help you out and let you borrow a bike is your goal.
Yeah.
I like that. I just want to look real quick. All right, were you thinking consort or sway with this?
Probably sway. They're the same for me, so.
Yeah, sway sounds good to me too. Let's go with that. And I think, yeah, risk being, this guy changes his mind. Yeah, changes his mind. Something goes wrong, so you will not have this bike available to you.
Sure. And then standard?
Yeah.
Cool. Do I have any bonus dice? How does this work?
So you could the crew right now has 2 gambits.
Yeah.
So you can spend a gambit to take one. You can push yourself, which you just spend 2 stress, and you can get a bonus dice.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, those are the main ways. We also have devil's bargains, but we'll bring those in later.
That's fine. I'll push myself. Give myself 2 stress.
Nice. So yeah, that means you succeed, but there's a setback or consequence of some sort. So yeah, we kind of flash back to present time. You see several bikers kind of like coming out angry, looking at like the crashed bikes. And you see the guy you talk to, and he goes up to like his bike, but it looks like it's been kind of like damaged by the fall of the other one. So he pulls it out, looks like it's in working condition, but it's a little beat up now. But he's kind of like looking around expectantly, waiting for your crew here in the present.
And I'll call out, "There's the bike. Go after him." From this, because I'm still on the second floor. I'm not gonna jump out of the window.
Yeah, so we see the robot fleeing. Albin calls out for you guys to he's got this bike set up for you, and you see the guy just kind of like looking around, ready to hand it off. And then Cho Tirik and Wipe are still just like beating the shit out of each other on the ground, I imagine.
So the Urbot is past the bike now?
Oh yeah, the Urbot's like trucking it.
All right, I'm going to sprint over, parkour over the rail or whatever it is, do a roll, and try to go just directly for that bike and get on it and to pursue.
Okay.
I'm only on a second level. I'm only a story up, right?
Yeah, your story up.
Okay.
So you're just kind of like make your way down through this hole in the wall.
Don't worry, I've got him.
All right.
John, if you don't mind me asking, how does initiative work?
Yeah,
that's not really initiative. It's basically just like if you feel it's relevant, and maybe we should address you and Cho kind of wrestling on the ground, but it's not. Yeah. It's basically just like what we decide makes the most sense for the story we're telling.
Okay. Okay. I would like to make an action as
he's climbing down.
Gabriel is at the bike. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm not even gonna make you roll for that right now, Gabriel. As you're kind of like climbing down, you make it over to the bike and hop on. What are you doing, Wipe?
I would like to push Cho away, grab the end of the bike, and as we are chasing the Urbot, I would like to use one of my Urbot abilities, giving myself 1 stress to detect nearby Urbots and access/hack into a machine by hooking directly up to it. So I'm gonna take like the little like antenna out of my ear and like pull like the ripcord out to what's the Mega Man Battle Network? Like, about getting ready to jack into the Urbot. as I'm like tailing on like the back of the space bike.
Okay.
I don't know if it's flying like his hover bike was, or if it's a ground-based bike, but pushing away homie to try to. I should have been a muscle with all this muscle shit that I'm trying to pull off.
Yeah, but you can do it with space power.
Yeah, but I can do it with space magic.
Yeah.
If you want me to use an action,
No, because I mean, right now you're just kind of like prepping to be able to like lock into this this Urbot or connect to it.
yeah, seeing as how the Urbot was able to interface with the dog by whistling, this is something that I'm not going to be able to like console with it or speak to it. It's something that I'm going to have to access, or Wipe realizes in this moment, like, oh, this is not a sit down and talk situation. This is a jack in and figure out what's up situation.
Okay. You know, too, it's because she's not technically a machine as much as she is an artifact, because she's an Urbot. So
I've got 2 pips and a tune is what helps you work with artifacts, correct?
Yeah.
Urbot way stuff.
Yeah, so I was just giving you that as an option because actually you're our Urbot expert for how our Urbots look, because I realize I have some preconceptions based on my previous games, but those don't really matter. So if you can plug into Urbots typically as like a normal thing, that's totally a thing we're doing.
Yeah, I would think that maintenance and interfacing.
That's how you do the wipes and stuff like that.
Kind of, yeah. Like they
Are you gonna wipe her?
No, Wipe has promised never to wipe anyone, seeing as how he has been wiped so many times, and
I mean, just one.
Anytime that he gets wiped, like he has an internal counter. Like he's aware that he's been wiped that many times, but he doesn't know why, when, or how. He just has a counter, like 54, just up in the top corner of his mind. He's like, okay.
In the corner of his Google Glass.
Yeah, it's up there.
All right.
Trying to skedaddle to the bot.
Yeah, if he's getting off that dude, I'm gonna pull out my blaster and just tell him not to fucking move. Hey,
Okay.
I just got my boots cleaned. I don't want to have to clean them again. Maybe you should just stay there.
So there's a chance that this would be like the end for Cho. How do we want to do this? So you're gonna try and break out of his grapple while you'll pull the gun on him. So maybe we just do a command roll from you, Liv. Another one. That's what it sounds like anyway, right? You're trying to like tell him what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a risky or controlled situation?
I'm
gonna ask every time.
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna say this is a risky situation.
Okay. Effect standard.
Yes. And the risk being that Cho doesn't listen to you,
and I have to shoot him.
Yeah.
Cause finger is on the trigger. Do I have any bonus dice?
You could use a gambit.
Yeah, you can use a gambit. You guys still have a couple of gambits right now.
I'm gonna use a gambit. That's 1 bonus die, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm using a gambit.
Make sure you mark 1 gambit down on the
Yes.
shift screen too. This system is cool.
Okay.
It's neat.
Let's see. Okay. So I think what happens here is Cho stands down, right? He gets on his knees, like as Wipe throws him down to the ground. Wipe hops on the back of the bike grabs onto the back of the bike with Gabriel as they zip chasing off after the Urbot. But as you're kind of like standing here, Liv, like several of the bikers are looking at their broken bikes and getting like angry, and they start to like crowd around you, being like, "Who the fuck's paying for our bike? Who did this?" And you're in a bit of a pickle, and we're gonna cut away from that scene that we have you guys at, as our other 2 zip down on the hover bike where the action is.
Oh jeez.
Jeez.
So you see her like now at the edge of the alley, about to turn onto a main street, and she's moving pretty quickly. What is your guys' plan of action? Just to like chase her down, or are you planning on like shooting her from afar?
The Urbot?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a bike for me to get on?
Yeah, you're on a bike right now, like driving. The bike's kind of like janky because it's damaged from the fall of the other one, but you guys are kind of flying down the alleyway, you and Wipe.
Okay.
Chasing this Urbot.
I've got my interface plug
Ready to go.
in my hand, ready to go, and I'm just saying, get me close.
In that case, I'm gonna try to use my pilot skills
Yeah.
on my hover bike or bike therein that I'm on, and try to speed up. Is there any curves or turns, or is this just a straight on?
There's a sharp turn at the end because she's like turning at the end of the alley here that you'll have to make basically.
Is there anything?
Parkour.
Is there anything that is like a slant on the side?
A half pipe.
Yeah,
Everything's at Tony Hawk level.
Something. It doesn't have to be like a full like straight up, but just something that just like leads upwards a little bit. Something that I can.
Yeah, because you don't need like it's a hover bike, right? So you don't go straight over the ground. You can actually just kick the bike's like A-gravs on. So like.
Well, what I want to do is I want to come straight on, and as the Urbot's taking the corner, and as I'm coming up, what I want to do is I want to kick it up and hit the back of it on something, and make it spin upwards so that I'm directly above the Urbot with Wipe right underneath me. So Wipe can just come straight down and get directly onto the Urbot.
Okay.
And so I'm working on like a full like corkscrew, like do a barrel roll.
I dig it. All right, sounds like a helm roll to me.
Roll.
All right, what do I do?
So sounds like helm.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be a desperate position here because you're doing this so you can get the hang of her, but you're going out like this towards the main street where there's other like hover vehicles and stuff like that, but there's also like her getting away here where it's like starting to get a little more crowded out of the main street as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get above everything so I can like get above her, trying to like clear air while still maintaining speed.
Is help a thing?
Help is a thing.
Oh.
So you can spend 1 stress and help somebody and give them an extra dice on their roll.
Can I use...
Not if somebody's helping you. I mean, you can spend stress to push yourself if you want, but as part of the help action is you don't spend any stress.
What's my effect on this, by the way, too?
I'm going to say standard effect.
Okay. What does the 2 prowess mean for this one that I have in helm?
The 2 pips?
Oh, that means you'll have 2 dice in your pool as like your base.
Oh, okay, so I'll have 3 because I have... Would I get another one from Ace Pilot? Speed, you have potency on all speed-related rolls. When you roll to resist the consequences of piloting, gain +1 dice. I'm a rep this piloting thing pretty hard.
I'm gonna say not for this particular one because speed is not like the most important part.
Is there an acrobatics roll?
But yeah, White, do you want to like help him in this action?
Yeah, if I use one of my abilities that says to push myself, can I just use it as like in flavor to help?
Yeah, you can just take that's fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, you don't have to actually push yourself for...
Yeah, so I'll take the 1 stress to help, giving you an extra die. And then I want to use my telekinetics in an effort to try and... It says to... what I can do with it is... I'm sure it's a role-playing game I can use within the lines. But to throw a table-sized object with dangerous force, can I pull a small robot-sized object with gentle force? Just
you're kind of
slow
like
her down or get her closer.
Yeah. I imagine you like as you're flying over, you're kind of using that to like pull her towards you so you can like snatch her or something. Yeah, love it. So spend 1 stress, and then Will, you can take an extra dice on your roll.
Okay, so I've got 3 dice. Or no, I just have 1 bonus dice, and it'll automatically give me the 2 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then-
real quick, stress. How do we get rid of stress? Just so I know.
That'll be in the downtime. That'll be like every after every job, you'll get an opportunity to decrease stress.
Oh, okay. So it won't all go away. It's just whatever we do to decrease it.
Yeah, it's based on rolls. So
Got it. Okay. Then I just wanted to know my measurement for using stress or not. So.
do it.
Oof.
It's a resource.
That's not good.
That is not good. 'Cause that's
Not
a
good at
desperate roll.
Wait a second. Is there anything I can do like after it?
Oh yeah, so you can. I forgot, which is something I should have mentioned of the other thing.
On
that
my
has been-
one.
The other things that have gone bad. Yeah, sorry, Sam. Resistance rolls are a thing. So I'm going to tell you what happens, and you can tell me whether you want to try and resist part of this or all of this, based on what happens. So let me make sure here. It's the worst outcome. You suffer severe harm. A complication occurs. You lose this opportunity. Okay. So I think what happens here is as you guys are like flipping through, you pump the A-grav and fly through, but as soon as you begin like flipping over her, the A-grav like there's like we see the spark where the damage is on the hover bike. The A-grav like suddenly spikes, launching you guys into like oncoming traffic, basically, and giving the Urbot like an opportunity to like duck into like the crowds of this side street of Warren.
So what would my resistance do?
So resistance is you say nope, and you say basically how you stop that problem, and then you would roll one of either. Basically, depending on how you want to solve the problem, it would be an insight, prowess, or resolve roll. And so these are the things that you'll see above your skills because each of the skills are grouped. And the number of dice you get in those pools are based on how many skills in that grouping that you have a pip in. So, for instance, your prowess is ridiculous because you have a pip in every prowess skill. You have 4 dice for your prowess pool.
It doesn't do 5 because my other pip?
No. It's all based on just like the first pip in there.
I would actually try that and try to... can I make it a success by just trying to land it the way I want to?
Yeah, just tell me basically this A-grav is going to kick in either way. What does it look like when you are like, what little problem do you fix or how do you correct for it? Do you just kind of like lean into this A-grav and do like cool like...
Do I still get wiped right over the Urbot or do I not?
Yeah, so if you're going to resist this, then I'll say to keep it simple, I'll give this as one resistance roll.
Into it then. And kind of like so if this is the Urbot, then I'm gonna and we're doing this thing and we're starting to go off. I want to try to lean into it so I can get a couple of rolls in to move over with knowing that the anti-grav is gonna pump in, and use that to push us over directly over the Urbot. And then if I can land it safely after that, great. If that is just I
imagine I'll make a suggestion here where it's basically like you're gonna lean into the A-grav, make it so you pick her up and like lean into it so you're kind of like more like joining traffic instead of like crashing into it kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be nice if I could just and like kind of like hit a spot where like a lane is.
Yeah.
While still getting wiped directly over.
So all you have to do
like just hanging on, just like waiting to
Yeah, I dig it. So what you'll do is you're gonna roll prowess. And this is basically you're gonna gain a certain amount of stress based on what you roll for the resistance.
Okay, so no bonus dice. It's just the 4. It'll just be the 4.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah, so you suffer 6 stress minus the highest. Since you rolled a 6, you take 0 stress to resist this. which
Holy
means
shit.
Wait, did I roll a critical? Is 6 critical?
no.
What's
Well,
a critical?
six, you have to
is
get
something
2
else.
6s is a critical.
Oh, okay.
6 is just a
Oh,
success.
yeah.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Gabriel resists a consequence with prowess.
So you guys like grab the Urbot, and to close out this scene, Wipe, you're kind of like going directly to plug into her.
Yeah.
Like you got her in your grip, you pull her onto the bike.
We are not enemy. We are not enemy. As we're like spinning around for the anti-grav. You are safe.
Do you actually like connect in?
Yeah,
Okay.
I said I would. So I do.
What kind of role are you using to kind of like get this message across to her? Is this
A tune? Because I'm dealing with an Urbot. She's an artifact.
yeah.
It's like the one thing I have.
That sounds good to me. Kind of using the way to communicate to her and like let her like communicate this sense of like, we are not a danger to you kind of thing.
It says for one stress, I have to use 1 stress to be able to do this. Gain potency whenever you attune to artifacts. Briefly contact any Urbot within the system. I didn't read that one. That one's sick. Would this be that gain potency whenever you attune to another artifact?
Yeah, if you want to do that.
It's doing both at the same time, interfacing and attuning.
Yeah, because you spent you can just spend a stress and do that. That's fine.
I'm at 4. Going fucking for it. Risky or desperate?
Risky.
Okay.
You're kind of like out of the desperate situation now. You've got her in hand. The risk being that she just kind of resists.
I don't think this gives me any bonus dice.
Or there's some kind of feedback.
What is potency? What is that?
Potency increases your effect, so that means you'll be at like great effect, basically.
Oh,
this
hold
situation.
on, let me. Attune, risky, great effect.
Yeah, sorry.
No bonus dice.
Okay. So this is a great effect, but there is some setback. Okay. So I'm gonna say this is a great effect. Like as you're kind of like going to attune to her, you have an issue because like you go to plug up directly to her, and as you like pull back this cloak to do so, you notice that she does not look like a robot. Her skin looks like flesh, basically.
Oh.
And she does not have a plug for you to plug directly into like interact with her. You can still attune to her, like you have to like lean into using the way though instead of like being able to affect her directly. But as you attune to her and use this effect, she does settle down on the thing. So I think I'm just saying the setback is basically this Urbot is not one that you can plug into and try to like hack with their stuff. You literally have to use the way to interact with them. So
cool.
But you have her in hand, and as you guys kind of like begin driving again, we cut back to the alleyway. We see Albin kind of standing on the second story in this hole where the blaster blew into the side of the hotel.
Gonna look at that and like, boss?
Now, gentlemen, clearly someone must pay for the reparations of your bikes, and I think I can think of no one better than Cho Tirik here, who is laying himself prostrate before you.
I don't have any creds.
And to assist in the repairs of your bike, the Cromwell family will of course give you a discount. Just hit up any of our shops.
All right. So try to talk these guys down, or to take it out of the hide of Cho instead of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just tell them Liv sent
We don't have to bring Cho back alive.
No, we don't.
That sounds like a sway roll to me.
Okay.
You can, if you want to spend a stress.
I was gonna say I'm gonna spend a stress to help him.
Okay.
Like kind of like offer, so you can get them discounts on the stuff. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
you know, you just go to my dad's shop. You know, tell him Liv sent you. You'll get a discount.
We're establishing your dad's shops here on Warren.
Okay. So this is risky. Yeah.
Yeah, risky.
And then standard effect.
Risk being they might go too far, or they
One
might decide to take
bonus
some of your
dice.
creds later.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Nice.
Nailed it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that, and they kind of like grumble a little bit and like look towards Cho, especially after he's like, I don't have any coin. But the guy you talked to earlier kind of steps up. He's wearing like he's got his little AR visors on, and he's just got like this leather jacket that just has like this neon sign that's like changing different like kanji on the back of his jacket.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes!
Yeah. Oh, give me more. Oh, it's so good.
And he's like, whoa, guys, no, this guy's cool. He's got plenty of booze too. They're good on the word. All right, we'll get the bikes fixed. Kind of like chiming in on your behalf as well. And they're just like, all right. And like a couple of them like move up and like punch and kick Cho a little bit, but they like ultimately they just kind of like step back, go back into the bar and begin like drinking.
I'm at least gonna get something out of it.
Yeah, so we see
I just gotta
the
punch somebody.
we see the bike.
All this pent up anger.
The bike comes back into the alley with Gabriel and Wipe on the back as well as this Urbot, and I think we will close the scene there for the night.
Your A-Grav reactor needs maintenance.
I told you I hadn't finished fixing it.
Oh,
This is not your bike.
Oh yeah, wait. Wrong bike.
Wrong bike.
You are too militant. I have the Urbot.
God, you're
So-
weird.
The crew takes in Chotirik and this strange human-like Urbot. And yeah. We will come back at it the week after next.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Tuesday.
Maybe Tuesday.
Maybe.
I c-
Oh,
can I?
That was cool.
Yeah,
we can do Tuesday.
I can
Yeah.
do Tuesday.
And with that, we'll start with we'll do the payoff rules, and then we'll check out the downtime rules of the game, where you guys will get to indulge advice or work on projects or.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go read a lot of Tom Holland puns.
Dude, hell yeah. This is sick.
I ain't working on a robot voice.
I love the flashback system. It makes me feel useful.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I really love it. It's supposed to be like basically so that you can be, if you want, the type of crew that is literally prepared for every single thing that like goes wrong or happens.
Great.
Yes, according to plan.
Yeah, I actually stuck a potato in the
Tailpipe.
exhaust pipe.
Fucking
Detonators were the big thing for my other group. So there's always like there's literally some missions where they were like done with the mission, they had succeeded, but they're like, I'm gonna flashback and say I put a detonator here so I can kill that one guy we didn't kill back then.
Oh my god.
Just use the stress for the flashback just to kill somebody that is not gonna come up later.
That's
To affect.
so
Incredible.
God.
So yeah, lots of
Big.
explosives, which means more heat as well, but
Was
so-
that Nate's group?
No, that was
No?
Jack,
Okay.
Eli, and Mark.
Okay, that
Nate's
still
group was
makes
the
sense.
smugglers. Yeah, they were much more. They tried to hide, run or hide. They didn't do any massive explosions usually. So
We fucking got in there.
Yeah.
Well, this is
We
interesting.
we did. We wasted no time.
I'm gonna
It's a
read
good,
up on engineering.
It was a really good first job.
Yeah.
Yo, I
It
was
was
What a crank.
being a pilot is Awesome. Great.
All right. Well, I'm gonna turn off the stream now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
Bye.
stream.
Goodbye.
It's fun.
Bye.